Hi, it's me, Khee, and welcome to a very special celebration Q&A video. If you didn't know, my Villain Animatic reached 1 million views, which is insane. Thank you all so much. So, to celebrate this milestone, I decided that I will be answering some questions that were submitted by you guys. So yeah, let's just jump into the questions. What program software did you use for drawing and editing? I used a program called Toonboon Storyboard Pro. It is a industry standard storyboarding program, but I would not recommend it to just anyone because it is not a free program. There are many free storyboarding programs which you can download off the internet if you just Google for them, but I have it because I am actually a storyboard artist. So yeah, that is why. I guess a lot of people were wondering if the animatic idea came first or the song. Well, kind of both. So the reason why I even decided to make an animatic was because I wanted to prepare something for the danganronpa 10th anniversary. Originally, I was going to pick a different song and it was going to be an animatic about all of the games. It was a very ambitious idea. But when I told my sister about my intentions, she recommended that I check out this song called Villain. I felt like the lyrics were perfect for Tsumugi, which is how I ended up picking her as the focal character. It's not like I had the intentions of starting this project being like, no, Tsumugi's a good character, guys. Come on, fandom. Why don't you love Tsumugi? Like, it was nothing like that. It was more of my own desire to create something in celebration of the 10th anniversary, and it ended up being a Tsumugi love letter. So I just want to give a shout out to my sister. Thank you very much for recommending the song to me, because without it, Villain would not exist. Do you usually hear a song and then think of an animatic idea, or do you get inspiration to animate about a certain idea or character, then choose a song? For Villain's case, it was definitely the song lyrics that gave me the inspirational skeleton for the whole project. Yeah, I guess for me, I work in the way where I find a song, and then through those songs' lyrics, they give me inspiration to create an animatic if I can connect it to a character. Was there a point where you were going to leave it as a whip, or were you always planning to finish it? And what was your motivation to finish? I was not sure I was going to be able to finish the full thing by the 10th anniversary date, so that's why I originally decided to post my whip for Tsumugi's birthday instead, and I kind of like changed my, set deadline goalpost. But what I did not intend was that I would be posting a full year later on her next birthday. I didn't work on Villain consistently over the year, but I think that actually kind of helped to take breaks in between. When I was working on Villain, I just had so much more motivation with new ideas that I probably didn't come up with during my initial planning. I just think if you're going to make a project as ambitious as this, you should take care of yourself and take your time to make sure that it comes to a standard which you're happy with. Who knows, you might have better ideas down the line that make it even better that you wouldn't have thought of if you just rushed it. How long did it take you to think of the ideas for this animatic? The initial whip that I posted was kind of done without a solid plan in mind, but everything past that, I basically took out all the lyrics and decided kind of where I wanted certain things to go. So if I have to say how long did it take to think of ideas, it's not really something I can, count, because it was just kind of organic and naturally changing as it went. Did you ever think about giving up? Were there any times where you felt like you couldn't get right what you had in your head? I knew I always wanted to see it to the end. There were definitely times I decided to change things that I wasn't personally satisfied with. If you have not purchased my digital zine, I definitely recommend it. There were actually quite a few scenes that got changed by the final version. So yeah, go buy the digital zine if you want to see what that was. How long did it take you to create Villain? I guess you could say months of hard work, because even when I wasn't actively drawing things for Villain, it was always like, you know, in my mind to think of ideas that I would want to incorporate and stuff like that. So can't really help you there with a solid answer, but I hope that helps. How did you come up with the color palette, and is there any symbolic meaning behind the pink eyes? Yes, so you might say that the black and white presentation of the artwork was an aesthetic choice born from requiring less work on my part to complete, but I do think that black and white just works best for what I was trying to achieve. And the pink eyes are lifted from the V3 opening sequence, where everyone has the version of their silhouette with pink eyes, which I kind of came to interpret as like everyone having a false version of themselves and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, it also just looks cool, so can you do a color version, please? And will you be finishing up this animation? I really don't have plans to complete the animatic. I don't know how to put this nicely, but you know, I don't make any money from my animatic projects because of the copyrighted music. And while my intention for the animatic was not to make money, if I'm not like monetarily supported through such an ambitiously long project, rather than me losing motivation, it's just not something that I can put my time into. I'm really appreciative of the people who are so excited about the idea of like a, you know, finished animation version with like full color, like a real anime. But that is just not possible, and I just want to say that I am a storyboard artist, not an animator. Personally, I just don't believe that it being fully animated and fully colored would add any real distinct impact to the Villain, you know, project itself. Frankly, I'm just more interested in creating new works rather than adding more to a project which I think is complete. Of course, there are things I could change if I wanted, but you know, sometimes you gotta be able to say, no, it's good, I finished it, and be happy with what you create. Yeah, thank you for loving Villain the way it is. What was your favorite part? I guess my favorite parts have to be the two mirror sequences at the start and the end of the video, and I just think that is great. I love the broken mirror part. Okay, I don't know, I'm really proud of myself for that. Another part is definitely the cosplay section where you see Tsumugi change into all the different characters. Also, I got to draw Komaeda, so you know, I had to put him into this animatic. Which character or scene was the biggest pain to draw? Now, not to really say that this was the biggest pain, but I think something that was in the back of my mind while making this, I wanted Kokichi fans to feel satisfied. I just really wanted to do his contribution justice. So I don't know if that makes him the biggest pain, but I think that was one of my fears, that I wouldn't be able to draw the Kokichi sections well enough to satisfy Kokichi fans. I don't know. What are all the Easter eggs in the video? So again, I'm going to plug my digital zine, but you should buy my digital zine because it contains every artwork from the animatic, so you can view it, you know, paused frame by frame. I also go through my thought process of particular scenes. For example, the little detail that not everyone might have realized is that I do have Tsumugi cosplaying as every survivor from Trigger Happy Havoc. Like, how dare you, Tsumugi, use their appearance to make me like feel so conflicted. I don't know, I just love it. Tsumugi, you bad bitch, I love you. How did you make a video I have genuinely watched multiple times a day for the past month? Thank you so much, that's so sweet. Yeah, I'm honestly like super surprised at how much love and support Villain has been getting I was really not expecting it, especially since Tsurugi is not a popular character at all. I really didn't think a Tsurugi focused animatic was going to be so, like, I don't know, well received within the danganronpa fandom. I've been seeing comments that people who didn't like V3 or didn't like Tsumugi had like a new appreciation for the events, and like, I don't know, they really liked my interpretation of the character and stuff like that. And I don't know, that makes me feel really happy as like a storyteller. Actually, because of the 1 million viewer milestone, I decided to reach out to Kodaka to show him my animatic, and he actually responded, which is just insane to me. It's wild. I've been a fan of danganronpa for so long, to have the creator of the series that I love so much be able to acknowledge and praise my work. So I don't know, it's such a happy feeling. So yeah, thank you so much. Fellow animatic creator here, how on earth do you stay focused, dedicated to one animatic? If you didn't know, that's not true. I did upload other videos, other projects, even other animatics between the time of the first work in progress animatic and the final version. I was dedicated to finishing Villain, but I wasn't like so strict with myself to take detours, because I think if you work on something for too long without coming to a stage of like feeling it's complete for a long time, I think you might start to feel burnout, and you might start to feel like resentment towards your project. It's not a bad idea to take time away from a project if you're just not feeling it, and that probably extended the wait time. But you know, as Yu's birthday was coming up this year, I was like, no, I gotta focus. So hey, maybe having a deadline does help sometimes, because it makes you actually work on something. What do you think is necessary to make an animatic? And any tips for people interested in starting their own animatics? I guess it's a good idea to know your goals for any project, really. Like, what are you aiming to achieve? Have motivation, push yourself to try different things. I really value my story being coherent through just images alone as well. Something that is useful to know are like rules of cinematography, like the rules of thirds, how to compose your images for film. I think doing research like that and practicing those kinds of skills would really help you in creating compositions and visuals that convey a narrative. Oh, another thing I want to add. Don't be afraid to show your work to people for feedback, whether they are an artist or not. I think having people watch something that you've created and giving their feedback on whether they think it works or not will really be valuable to you, because sometimes you don't see a flaw in your own work until you have like a second opinion, which then you can like reevaluate your own decisions. Is Tsumugi your favorite character? What do you like about Tsumugi? Why did you choose Tsumugi? I chose Tsumugi because I thought her character themes really worked well for the lyrics of this song. I did like Tsumugi before working on this project, but working on Villain definitely elevated her in my opinion. I think I just gained so much more appreciation for Tsumugi as a character and concept. I really do enjoy cosplay, so I already had an initial interest with her and I spent time with her, but I feel like they really could have made her feel more important. And I know that like the whole intent was that she should be the plain, kind of like a background character, so that her reveal is a bit more shocking, that you're like, whoa. But I do feel like this impact could have been like even more heartbreaking if Tsumugi was seen as your close ally, and so her betrayal is seen as something like unbelievable. Again, I wasn't trying to push propaganda that I wanted people to like Tsumugi more, but I hope that people in general in the fandom just give her a bit more appreciation for her concept and like how fun she is to actually have ideas around. What made you think of the Kokichi scene where he and Tsumugi are playing cards? It's really creative. I wanted that scene to reflect chapter 5, where Kokichi is basically declaring war against the mastermind, and him winning the card game gives him like this false impression that he has defeated the mastermind, and it is then revealed that Tsumugi was pulling the strings all along with her Junko Joker card. The significance behind those cards with the dice logo and the Junko on the cards are actually a callback to the flashback lights that Tsumugi uses to manipulate Kokichi and everyone's opinion of Kokichi. I don't know, I'm just like really proud of that idea, and if anyone else picked up on that, hey, good on you. But also, you would have known that if you bought my digital villain scene. Go buy it. There's a lot of content in there where I discuss my thoughts, bonus scenes, extra artworks, and even the draft version of the Villain Animatic video. So, you know, a lot of goodies there, and it's only 5 USD. Do you like Kokichi? What if I told you no? Is that a lie? Which danganronpa character is your favorite? I think it's pretty obvious if you look at my YouTube channel. I mean, I call you the Komaida-lings for a reason. Nagito Komaida is my favorite character from danganronpa. Don't you ever doubt me. I love Nagito Komaida. Alright, and the last question. Are you thinking of possibly making more animations similar to Villain in the future? Yes, I do plan to make more animatics. However, at the moment, I don't have any plans to make another full song animatic. It's not something I can replicate regularly. I don't make animatics for the sake of making animatics. I just would not feel personally creatively fulfilled if I did so. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing as long as it makes me happy. I have many thoughts when it comes to like the success of Villain as a whole. Like, I can't thank you guys enough for showing so much love to Villain and my other works. Like, we've now hit 20k subscribers on my YouTube channel, which is amazing. But I feel like it also creates expectation that I should only create animatics because that's what people came here for. And while I understand this sentiment, and I'm not saying that everyone is going to enjoy every kind of different type of content I produce, I just want to put it out there that I'm not just an artist. I have other interests and I will pursue those as well. And I hope you guys can like respect that decision. And it's not that I won't ever make more animatics. I just want to make them when I feel inspired to do so. The success of Villain is very humbling. Thank you very much. I guess I don't want it to necessarily be what people only remember me for. So I think that will be all for all the questions. I hope you learned a little something about Villain and maybe me. I hope that all the questions that I did choose were able to address the most relevant and frequently asked. I'm really grateful to everyone who has responded or interacted positively to my work. And it makes me especially happy to read all of the kind comments and praise people have been leaving under the video. It honestly really encourages me to know that people are so responsive and like enjoy my work so wholeheartedly. Thank you for all the opportunities, love and support that Villain has brought my way. And I hope you look forward to everything else that I create in the future. Till next time, see ya! I used a program called Toonboom Storyboard. I used a program called Toonboom Storyboard.